Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abom and today we're going to be talking about Football Manager 2021, which as we're recording this we still don't know much about apart from a release date. We've had no announcements of new features or additions or changes. Nothing has been announced so far. By the time this comes out they may well have done. In which case I will be putting a video out about that, as well as the GeoGuess that I've been playing recently, which hopefully you've enjoyed. But this video is going to be all about who I'm going to be managing on FM21. The game is expected to be out in about a month's time in terms of the beta. I think we can expect it about the 10th of November, something like that. Usually it's about 2 weeks before the main release, which this year is the 24th of November. Slightly later than planned, but still, again, good job by SI and Football Manager to get the game ready to come out for November. I think they've done a great job to do that. So with about a month to go, it's about time we started thinking about saves, and I really struggled to come up with an idea this season for saves, and eventually, you know, I came up with one for my main series, which I'll get into in a minute. The beta, until about last week, I didn't know what to do, and now I've finally settled on a team. So for the beta, traditionally we've gone with a Premier League team, and we've kind of worked our way up in recent years. So my very first beta save was with Stoke back in FM16, which was really, really good fun. I really enjoyed that save, and we got them to Europe. I don't remember how well we actually did with them, but yeah, it was good. FM17, we moved on to Everton and the Tale of the Toffees, which was, again, a really, really good save, and I think was the real sort of change for me in terms of the quality of my content. I think it's one of my favourite saves I've done. 3 seasons with Everton. And then FM18 we moved on to Liverpool, which was probably what got me most of my audience. Lots of subscribers, lots of views from those, which was really, really good. And it also earned me a shout out from Lelujo as well in a video of his a couple of years ago. So that was good. And Liverpool, again, my team, so another one that I had a lot of fun with. We then moved on to Chelsea in FM19, and that was the beta save for FM19. And then last year we did Manchester United. So we started off using these teams that were sort of about mid-table. You know, Stoke at this time when I played as them, they just appointed Mark Hughes, and they were going for a different sort of style. They were signing like Champions League winners like Afellay and Bojan and players like that and Shaqiri. So it was a bit of a new look side for Stoke, and it was a fun one to do. Since then, though, we've moved on to be, you know, the big boys of the Premier League. We've been Chelsea, we've been Man United, we've been Liverpool. You know, there's part of me thinking, do we go Arsenal? But I feel like a lot of people are going to do Arsenal this year. You know, again, a bit of a different squad. Arteta in charge, and then you've got Man City as well. But who wants to be Man City? Honestly, like spending all sorts of money, I don't think it'd be very fun. I think, you know, and I think you'd expect to win the league in that first season, and all that money you can essentially buy whoever you want, and I don't think that would be very fun. Part of me thought, do we go abroad this year for the beta? You know, a lot of people say, you know, the Premier League's where the views are. You don't want to go to Spain or France or Italy because you won't get as many views. And I don't really care about that. But in the end, we have come back to England because, you know, I'm going to know most about it, and it's going to be an easy way for me to learn how to play the game. If I go to another country with maybe different rules, it might make it a bit difficult to enjoy. I'm sure that some of the rules are fine. I don't think Spain have a lot of different rules, but at least with the Premier League we know what we're getting. So we're going to stay in the Premier League, but instead of going for these, you know, big formal winners, you know, the big six, whatever you want to call them, we're going to look a little bit further down the table. So I'm going to pop up a thumbnail that I made last week for this save. 3, 2, 1, boom, there it is. West Ham. We're going to be going to West Ham this year for our beta. So this one is one that I've decided on. You know, West Ham are quite a big team in my family. My grandfather supports West Ham. There are people in my family who support West Ham. There's a lot of different clubs supported in my family. My father's a Spurs fan. I've got some family that support Portsmouth. So, yeah, and West Ham is a team that if my granddad was still alive, I would be a West Ham fan because he would have taken me to every game. You know, we would have probably had season tickets and all that because he was a die-hard West Ham fan. And unfortunately, passed away when I was very young. I was not quite 2 when he died. So, that was it. Yeah, that's why we're going to do West Ham. Also, it's a club that I feel like should be doing a lot better than they are with the players that they have. I feel like they should not be where they are, so we're going to try and help them with that. Of course, they had Pellegrini last year, which was a bit of a failed experiment, wasn't it, having the Chilean in charge. They've gone back to David Moyes again, who is a safe pair of hands, but that's all he is. He's a safe pair of hands that will hopefully keep West Ham in the Premier League, and hopefully convincingly so as well. But what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and push them to that next level. You know, they're an established Premier League side that haven't been relegated for quite a while. I want to say it's been about 10 years that they've been in the Premier League now, something like that. So we're going to try and help them to, you know, take it to the next level and become, you know, a top half side, and then maybe even further than that, but try and get them into Europe and become a European contender. Because the last time they were in Europe, I believe they went out very early in the Europa League qualifying to some team somewhere. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was like Astana or somewhere like that, somewhere ridiculous. So the hope is that we're going to turn West Ham into a team that can consistently qualify for European competitions, and then maybe even further. It depends how long it lasts. I'm probably only going to do 2 to 3 seasons, which I usually do with the beta, 3 at max, and we'll see how we go. But that's going to be the beta. As far as the main save goes, it's going to be a successor to a previous series that we've done. On FM19, we had a series called Eastern Resurgence, in which we took BFC Dynamo, who was the biggest club in what was East Germany, and the most competitive club, winning 10 titles in a row. They were the biggest winners in what was East Germany. But since their reunification with West Germany, the club fell down as far as the 5th tier. We took them on in the 4th tier and got them up to the Bundesliga without using the tactics they used back in the 1970s and 80s. Lots of corruption, because the club was owned by the leader of the Stasi, the secret police agency in East Germany. So, you know, we did it with none of that, no corruption, no biased refereeing, nothing like that. And it was really, really fun. So we are going to take that concept of Eastern Resurgence and we're going to place it onto something else. Now, this will rely on me finding a good database for this, because it is a team that is not going to be playable in the main game. So again, we're going to need a custom database for this, and hopefully I'll be able to find one. Otherwise, I'm going to have to think of something else. But we're going to be going to Romania for this one. It's a very strange and obscure country to go to for a main save, but we're going to Romania. Specifically, we're going to the 4th tier of the Romanian Championship to take charge of CSA Steaua Bucuresti. Now, I've been researching this club for a while, and honestly, I'm still not entirely sure I understand what's happened. But basically, Steaua Bucharest is a club that has existed for many, many years, since 1947. But the one that you're all familiar with, it's not called Steaua Bucharest. It's not allowed to be called Steaua Bucharest. It's called FCSB. And they are the club that are in the Romanian First Division. They are the club that finished 5th in the past season in the First League in Romania. And for ages and for years, there's been disputes between FCSB and the newly restarted Steaua Bucharest about the history and the honours of the original Steaua Bucharest, who were the very first club from Eastern Europe to win a major European competition. In 1986, Steaua Bucharest defeated Barcelona on penalties to win the European Cup final. And it was the first and only one of 2 Eastern European sides to win a major competition in Europe. The other one was Red Star Belgrade in, I think it was 1990, or it might be 91. But the idea is that we are going to take Steaua Bucharest, not FCSB, Steaua Bucharest, from the 4th tier of Romania, and hopefully to the Champions League. It's a big ask, and it's going to be the longest save I've ever done. You know, BFC Dynamo was 13 seasons, I think. It might have been 14. This one may last even longer. This is going to be long, and hopefully it doesn't end, because this past year my saves have been they've been pretty bad. Honestly, they've been pretty bad. Hopefully this one will go on well and we'll have fun with it. I'm just having a look to see how many episodes BFC Dynamo was. How many videos was it? It was 120 videos. This may well be longer. You know, it could be a very long one, this one. But yeah, the idea is we're going to take Steaua Bucharest from the 4th tier of Romania as far as we can. As far as we can in the game. And you know what, you got the whole disputes about the history and the honours and all that, and it's very, very confusing stuff, but we're going to try our best to understand it, and I'm going to get some sort of history video out to kick off the series as soon as it's ready. I'm hoping that it's going to be ready for the new year. I usually aim for about New Year's Day for these long series, so we'll see if we can get it ready for that. Of course, the game's starting a little bit later this year because it's out late in November. But if we can get through a couple of seasons with West Ham fairly quickly, maybe 3 seasons, then we should hopefully start the main save around the new year. And hopefully that will last us through to the end of the game. Because as I said, this year, it hasn't been too great. The promotion project was meant to be my long series this year, but it wasn't enjoyable. I will probably try a Journeyman again in the future, but this was not the Journeyman to do. A save where you only move club once you got promoted does not work very well. It's hard to find jobs. You're stuck with a pretty rubbish team. Yeah, it's not too good. We'll try another Journeyman again in the future at some point, but the problem with that was that you weren't really moving up at all. You were very much stuck at the same level in our promotion project. So it was a decent idea, just not great. And then of course we had Nashville as well for a short-term save in MLS. I can say that I've done that now, but I'm not going to go near America again for a while because it's very, very confusing. And then of course last year we had the Sheffield United save on Mad Scientist FM's 0607 database, which was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed that, playing with an old Sheffield United side from 2006. And Mad Scientist has got another database he's going to be bringing out for FM21. And he announced this past week that that is going to be set in the season 2001-2002. So we're going to be going back almost 20 years for that. And we're probably going to do another season like we did with Sheffield United. We might do it to sort of maybe take a little break from Stour, or if Stour ends abruptly, which I hope it doesn't, we'll definitely do another save with one of his databases. And this year it's 0102. And that might be where Man City comes in, because in that season, Man City were in the Championship. They got relegated in 2001. So that would be a really fun one to take on. Man City in the Championship. Or we could just manage Liverpool, because they're my team and I'd like to manage the Liverpool side from like 2001. It was just after they won that treble of theirs with the FA Cup, the UEFA Cup and the League Cup. They won that treble in 01. So that would be really interesting as well. But we're definitely going to do something with his database again this year. We're going to do that simulating video we always do every year, simulating from 2001 to 2020 in his database. We're definitely going to do that again, and maybe some more stuff. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like down below. Leave comments if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, then do subscribe and turn on notifications. Hopefully you're looking forward to what's coming up with West Ham and Stour. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully Stour goes ahead if I can find the right database and all that. And then I need to do some reading about exactly what's going on with Stour and FCSB, because it's very, very confusing what's going on. And hopefully I can get to grips with exactly what's been happening between the clubs. But yeah, hopefully we get some news soon about FM21. And yeah, hopefully looking forward to what's coming. For now, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.